10 games that will make you feel like you are on an adventure. Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus is a game where you're on a quest to defeat giant creatures. These creatures called Colossi are massive ancient beings, and they're not easy to take down. You play as a young man named Wander, and you're driven by a desire to bring someone back to life. The only way to do this is to slay these Colossi, even though it feels like a heavy burden. The game world is expansive and feels almost deserted. You'll spend a lot of time riding your horse aggro across vast landscapes. There are ruins, forests, and mountains to explore. It's a journey that emphasizes the solitude and the weight of your task. The world is beautiful, but it also feels lonely, which adds to the atmosphere. Each Colossus is a unique challenge. They're not just big and strong, they each have their own specific weaknesses and patterns. Figuring out how to defeat them is a big part of the game. It's like solving a puzzle, but the puzzle is a giant living creature. You'll have to climb on them, find their weak spots, and time your attacks carefully. It's a thrilling experience, and it requires both skill and strategy. The game isn't just about the fighting though, it's also about the journey itself. Riding across the landscape, discovering hidden places, and simply experiencing the world are all important parts of the game. It's a game that encourages you to slow down and appreciate the scenery. It's a quiet and contemplative experience even with the intense boss fights. So, Shadow of the Colossus is a game about a long and difficult journey. You'll fight giant monsters, explore a beautiful but lonely world, and uncover the secrets of an ancient land. It's a game that combines action with exploration and a sense of melancholy. If you like games with epic scale, challenging boss fights, and a touch of mystery, this is one to consider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This time around, Lara Croft is facing some serious challenges in a dangerous jungle environment. It's the final installment in the Survivor trilogy, and it really pushes Lara to her limits. The game is all about exploration, combat, and puzzle solving. You'll be exploring lush jungles, ancient ruins, and hidden tombs. Lara is incredibly athletic, so you'll be climbing, jumping, swimming, and rappelling your way through these environments. It's a lot of fun just moving around and discovering hidden areas. Combat is a big part of the game too. Lara has a variety of weapons, a bow and arrow, and various melee weapons. You can choose to go in guns blazing, or you can use stealth to take down enemies quietly. The game offers a good mix of both approaches. The tombs are a major highlight. They're intricate puzzles that you have to solve to progress. They often involve environmental manipulation, using levers, pulleys, and other mechanisms to open pathways and uncover secrets. It's a satisfying feeling when you finally figure out a tricky tomb puzzle. The story in Shadow of the Tomb Raider is more mature and darker than previous games. Lara is facing a moral dilemma, and the stakes are higher than ever. The game explores her character and her motivations, and it provides a fitting conclusion to her origin story. So, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a thrilling action-adventure game with a strong focus on exploration, challenging puzzles, and intense combat. It's a great choice for anyone who enjoys exploring ancient ruins, solving mysteries, and playing as a badass heroine. It's a solid entry in the Tomb Raider series, and it offers a satisfying conclusion to Lara's journey.
Only one chance.
Subnautica.
Scans indicate this location.
Okay, so this game is something else. Imagine crashing your spaceship on a planet that's completely covered in water. No land, just ocean as far as the eye can see. That's Subnautica. You're stuck in this little escaped pod, basically a floating tin can, and your first priority is just staying alive. You've got to figure out where to find drinkable water, what's edible and what's going to poison you instantly, and how to not suffocate while exploring underwater. A pretty frantic start, but once you get past the initial survival panic, the real fun begins: exploring. This ocean is massive and it's absolutely stunning. You've got these vibrant coral reefs teeming with alien fish, kelp forests that are way bigger than any kelp forest on Earth, and these deep, dark trenches where you have no idea what's lurking. Seriously, the first time you encounter a Reaper Leviathan, terrifying, absolutely terrifying. It's a beautiful world, but it's also full of these creatures that are both fascinating and incredibly dangerous. You're not just swimming around aimlessly though, you're constantly crafting stuff. You start with basic tools, but as you explore and find blueprints, you can build all sorts of amazing things. Better diving gear so you can go deeper, scanners to learn about the local flora and fauna, and eventually you can even build submarines, like actual submarines that you can pilot around the ocean. It's so cool. You're constantly gathering resources, figuring out new recipes, and trying to improve your chances of survival. There's a story woven into all of this too. It's not a typical story with cutscenes and dialogue, it's more subtle. You find clues scattered around the ocean, learn about what happened to the planet and the people who were here before you, and gradually piece together the mystery. It's a really clever way to tell a story, and it makes exploring even more rewarding. Honestly, Subnautica is just incredibly immersive. You really feel like you're exploring this alien world. It's beautiful, it's scary, it's addictive, and it's full of surprises. It's one of those games that you can easily lose hours in, just swimming around, discovering new things, and trying not to get eaten. If you like open world games, survival games, or just games that make you feel like you're on a real adventure, you absolutely have to play Subnautica. It's an experience you won't forget. Uncharted 2. We all know how great this game is. It's often cited as one of the best Uncharted games, and for good reason. It's an action-adventure masterpiece. Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, sets the standard for action-adventure games. You dive into a thrilling adventure with Nathan Drake, a charming and witty treasure hunter who takes you on a wild ride across the globe. This time, he's on the hunt for the legendary lost city of Shambhala. And let me tell you, the journey is packed with jaw-dropping moments, clever puzzles, and a story that keeps you hooked. From epic chases to mind-bending challenges, it's a roller coaster of excitement that showcases what gaming is all about. The game excels at creating a cinematic experience. It's like stepping into a high-budget action film where you're in control of the protagonist. You'll be scaling treacherous cliffs, leaping across crumbling architecture, swinging from precarious holds, and engaging in intense firefights across diverse and exotic locations, from the frigid Himalayas to the bustling metropolis of Istanbul. The pacing is relentless, constantly presenting you with exciting challenges. Combat is a significant element. Nathan is a skilled fighter, and you'll face a wide array of adversaries. The gunplay is polished and satisfying, offering numerous opportunities for tactical cover usage. However, it's not solely about ranged combat. Hand-to-hand encounters are also prevalent, adding another dimension to the action. The puzzles in Uncharted 2 are smartly integrated into the environment. They're not super complicated, but they do challenge you to think outside the box and make use of what's around you. Figuring them out feels really satisfying and gives you that sweet sense of achievement as you progress through the game. It's all about engaging with the world and feeling like a true adventurer. The story is a major highlight. It's a well-written and absorbing tale, populated by memorable characters and brimming with unexpected twists and turns. The camaraderie between Nathan and his companions is a key component of the narrative, and the voice acting is exceptional, breathing life into the characters. You genuinely feel invested in Nathan's journey and his relationships. In summary, Uncharted 2 is a spectacular and cinematic action-adventure game that seamlessly blends exhilarating gameplay with a compelling storyline. It's a must-play for anyone who enjoys action-packed games with a blend of adventure and a richly developed narrative. It's a classic for a reason. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. This game, man, it's not just good, it's legendary. It's one of those games that defined a generation, and for good reason. It's a classic action-adventure title that still holds up incredibly well today. You play as the prince, who's not your typical damsel in distress prince. This guy is a total acrobat, a skilled warrior, and he's got this magical dagger that lets him control time. The story is inspired by the Arabian Nights, which gives it this fantastic mythical feel. It's a tale of betrayal, magic, and a touch of romance, all wrapped up in a thrilling adventure. The gameplay is where Sands of Time really shines. It's a perfect blend of parkour, combat, and puzzle solving. The parkour is so fluid and responsive, running along walls, leaping across huge gaps, climbing up ledges. It just feels so natural and satisfying. It's like you're actually controlling a nimble, agile warrior. The combat is engaging too. It's not overly complex, but it's well designed. You got your sword, and you can string together combos, block attacks, and use the environment to your advantage. Taking down enemies feels good, and there's a satisfying weight to the combat. But the real game changer, the thing that made Sands of Time so innovative, is the time rewinding mechanic. It's brilliant. You can rewind time a few seconds, which is a lifesaver when you inevitably mess up a jump, fall off a ledge, or get ambushed by enemies. It's not just a gimmick, it's a core part of the gameplay, and it adds a strategic layer to every encounter. It's like having a do-overs button, but it's more than that. It allows you to experiment, take risks, and learn from your mistakes without having to start from scratch. and the visuals, even though it's an older game, it still looks great. The art style is distinctive and vibrant, and the environments are beautifully designed. It's a visually appealing game, and it helps to create this immersive and magical atmosphere. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time is more than just a game. It's an experience. It's a timeless classic that combines thrilling gameplay, a captivating story, and a truly unique mechanic. If you're a fan of action-adventure games, or even if you just appreciate a well-crafted game with a touch of magic, you owe it to yourself to play Sands of Time. It's a game that deserves its place in gaming history. Max Payne 3. Max Payne 3 is a gritty, action-packed third-person shooter. It's a bit of a departure from the earlier Max Payne games in some ways, but it still retains that signature noir feel and bullet-time action. You play Max Payne, a former NYPD detective who's now working as a private security contractor in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He's a broken man haunted by his past, and he's struggling to stay afloat. Things quickly go south, as they always do for Max, and he finds himself caught up in a dangerous conspiracy. The gameplay is all about intense gunfights. Max can still slow down time with his bullet time ability, which allows for some seriously stylish and over-the-top action sequences. It's incredibly satisfying to dive through the air, slow down time, and take out a room full of enemies. The gunplay itself is really well done. The weapons feel weighty and impactful, and the environments are destructible, which adds to the intensity of the firefights. There's a good variety of weapons to choose from, and you can dual wield them for extra firepower. Max Payne 3 also features a cover system, which allows you to take cover behind objects to avoid enemy fire. However, the game encourages you to be aggressive and use bullet time to push forward and take the fight to the enemy. The story is a big part of the game. It's a dark and gritty tale and explores Max's character in depth. He's not a typical action hero. He's flawed, vulnerable, and often makes questionable choices. The story is well written and engaging, and it will keep you hooked until the very end. Quantum Break. Quantum Break is a really interesting game that mixes a third-person shooter with time manipulation powers, and it even has a TV show built into it. It's a bit of a mind-bender, but in a good way. You play as Jack Joyce, and he gets these time-bending abilities. After a science experiment goes wrong, suddenly time is all messed up, and he can do things like slow it down, rewind it, or even freeze it completely. It's pretty cool. The gameplay is a mix of shooting and using these time powers. You'll be fighting bad guys, and you can use your powers to get an edge in combat. Imagine freezing time and then unloading a clip into an enemy before time resumes, that kind of thing. But it's not just about shooting. There are also parts where you have to solve puzzles using your time powers, like maybe a bridge is broken in time and you have to rewind it to make it whole again so you can cross. What's really unique about Quantum Break is the TV show. After certain parts of the game, you get to watch an episode of a show that tells the story from the bad guy's perspective, and the choices you make in the game actually affect what happens in the show. It's a really cool way to tell a story. So, Quantum Break is a game that's all about time manipulation, shooting, and a really interesting story that's told through both the game and a TV show. It's a bit different from other games out there, and it's definitely worth checking out if you like games with a unique twist. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is a third-person action-adventure game set in the Star Wars universe. It's a bit like a mix of Uncharted and Dark Souls with a dash of Metroid thrown in for good measure. You play as Cal Kestis, a former Jedi Padawan who's been hiding since the fall of the Jedi Order. The story is about him rediscovering his connection to the Force and fighting against the evil Galactic Empire. The gameplay is a blend of lightsaber combat, platforming, and exploration. Cal is a skilled Jedi, and you'll be using your lightsaber to fight all sorts of enemies, from stormtroopers to giant creatures. The combat is challenging but rewarding, requiring you to learn enemy attack patterns and use your Force abilities strategically. The platforming is a big part of the game too. You'll be climbing, jumping, and wall running your way through a variety of environments, from lush forests to ancient temples. It's very reminiscent of Uncharted in that respect. The game also features a Metroidvania-style map. As you gain new abilities, you can go back and explore previously inaccessible areas. This encourages exploration and allows you to discover hidden secrets and collectibles. The story is a strong point. It's a well-written and engaging narrative that explores Cal's journey as he rediscovers his connection to the Force and comes to terms with his past. The characters are well developed and the voice acting is excellent. It really feels like a proper Star Wars story. So, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is a fantastic action-adventure game that captures the feel of the Star Wars universe perfectly. It's got challenging combat, fun platforming, a Metroidvania-style map, and a compelling story. If you're a Star Wars fan, or if you just enjoy a good action-adventure game, this is definitely one to check out.
The choice to keep fighting that makes us who we are.
Open Roads.
But looking through her old things,
Open Roads tells the story of Tess, a teenager, and her mom, Opal, who embark on a road trip that turns into much more than just a drive. It all starts when they're cleaning out their attic and stumble upon some old letters and a few other clues. These clues suggest there's a hidden treasure somewhere near the Canadian border, and it seems like Opal has been keeping some secrets about their family history. Intrigued, they decide to pack up the car and hit the open road. The gameplay in Open Roads is primarily focused on exploration and interaction. You'll be driving along scenic routes, stopping at various roadside attractions, small towns, and other interesting locations. When you arrive at a new place, you can explore the environment, clicking on objects to examine them more closely and uncover more clues. Talking to Opal is also a crucial part of the game. You'll have conversations with her about what you find, trying to piece together the mystery of the hidden treasure and learn more about your family's past. It's like playing a detective game, but instead of focusing on a big external mystery, the focus is on the more personal and emotional mystery of Tess' family.
oh, Grandpa Leo was a bowler? He and Dad have that in common.
The story is really the heart of Open Roads. It's a coming-of-age story for Tess as she's not only trying to find a treasure, but also trying to figure out who she is and where she belongs. It's also a story about the complicated relationship between Tess and her mom. They've had their ups and downs, and this road trip is a chance for them to reconnect and understand each other better. As you play, you'll learn more about their past, their struggles, and the things they've been keeping from each other. Open Roads is a bit of a mixed bag. It's a short game, and the gameplay isn't anything too spectacular, but if you're in the mood for a road trip adventure, this one's worth checking out. The game has a really unique visual style, blending detailed 3D environments with hand-drawn 2D character animations. It feels like you're playing through a moving comic book, which is super cool. The visuals are stunning and fit perfectly with the intimate vibe of the story. Plus, the voice acting is top-notch. Kerry Russell and Caitlin Dever really bring Opal and Tess to life. Their performances feel genuine and make the characters relatable, so you really connect with them throughout the journey.
Okay.
A road trip.
This is gonna be great.
A Way Out. A Way Out is a unique co-op adventure. It's designed specifically for 2 players, and you have to play it with another person, either online or in the same room. It's not a single-player game with a co-op mode. It's built from the ground up to be a shared experience. You play as either Leo or Vincent, 2 inmates who break out of prison together. The story follows their escape and their lives on the run, and it's full of twists and turns. It's a pretty cinematic experience, almost like a playable movie. The gameplay is varied. There's stealth, action, driving, and even some mini-games. Because it's co-op, you and your partner will often have to work together to overcome obstacles. For example, one player might distract a guard while the other player opens a door. It's all about communication and coordination. The game uses split screen a lot, even when you're not right next to each other in the game world. This allows you to see what both characters are doing at the same time, which is really cool and adds to the immersion. A Way Out isn't a super long game, but it's designed to be played in 1 or 2 sittings. It's a focused experience. It's all about the co-op gameplay and the story. So, A Way Out is a unique and fun co-op adventure. If you're looking for a game to play with a friend or family member, this is a great choice. It's a different kind of game, and it's definitely worth experiencing. Ghost of Tsushima, Iki Island. Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island is an expansion to the original Ghost of Tsushima game. Think of it as a new chapter in Jin Sakai's story, taking him to a brand new island with new challenges, new enemies, and new secrets to uncover. It's not a standalone game, you need to own Ghost of Tsushima to play it. The expansion picks up after the main game's ending, though you can access it earlier if you prefer. Jin hears rumors of a mysterious Mongol presence on Iki Island, and he sets sail to investigate. What he finds there is more than just another Mongol invasion. It's a personal personal journey that forces him to confront his past traumas and grapple with the emotional scars of the main game's events. Gameplay on Iki Island is very similar to the main game. You'll still be exploring a beautiful open world, engaging in sword combat, using stealth tactics, and upgrading your character's abilities. The combat is just as fluid and satisfying as before, and there are some new enemy types to keep you on your toes. Iki Island also introduces some new gameplay mechanics. There are new activities to participate in, like archery challenges and animal sanctuaries. There are also new myths and legends to discover, which provide more insight into the lore of the game world. The story of Iki Island is more intimate and personal than the main game's narrative. It delves deeper into Jin's emotional state and explores the psychological impact of the Mongol invasion. It's a powerful and moving story that adds another layer of depth to Jin's character. So Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island is a fantastic expansion that offers more of what made the original game so great. It's got beautiful environments, engaging combat, a compelling story, and some new features to discover. If you enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima, this expansion is definitely worth checking out. It's a great way to return to the world and spend more time with Jin Sakai. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus is a game where you shoot a lot of Nazis. It's set in a world where the Nazis won World War II, which is a pretty scary thought. You play as BJ Blazkowicz, a really tough guy. People call him Terror Billy because he's so good at killing Nazis. He's trying to start a revolution in America, which is now controlled by the Nazis. It's a pretty messed up situation, but BJ is determined to fight back. The game is mostly about shooting, like a lot of shooting. You get to use all sorts of weapons. There are regular guns like pistols and shotguns, but there are also some crazy futuristic weapons that the Nazis have. You can even dual wield weapons, which means you can hold in each hand and shoot twice as many Nazis. It's pretty intense and there's a lot of blood and explosions. The shooting feels really good though. The guns feel powerful and it's satisfying to take down enemies. Wolfenstein 2 isn't just a serious gritty game though. It's also kind of crazy and over the top. It knows it's a video game and it doesn't take itself too seriously. There are some really ridiculous moments, funny lines, and just plain weird stuff that happens. It's like a B-movie action film, but you get to play it. But even though it's crazy, the story is actually pretty good. It's not just about killing Nazis, it's about why you're killing them. It explores themes of freedom, oppression, and what war does to people. BJ Blazkowicz is a complicated character. He's a tough guy, but he's also got feelings and worries. The game shows you his struggles and what motivates him to keep fighting. It's a surprisingly deep story for a game that's mostly about shooting. You get to visit a bunch of different places in the game. They're all based on real places in America, but they've been changed a lot because the Nazis are in charge. There are ruined cities, big Nazi bases, and all sorts of other interesting locations. The levels are designed so you can explore them and find hidden stuff, but they're also designed for intense gunfights. There's always something to shoot at. So Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus is a game where you shoot a ton of Nazis. It's fast, it's violent, it's kind of crazy, and it has a surprisingly good story. It's not just mindless action. There's actually something to think about while you're playing. If you like shooting games and you don't mind a lot of blood and over-the-top action, you should definitely check it out. It's a wild ride, but it's a fun one. Metro Exodus. Metro Exodus is a game where you explore a big, messed up Russia after a nuclear war. It's a first-person shooter, which means you see the world through the character's eyes, and it's also a survival horror game, so things can get pretty scary. It's the third game in the Metro series, but this time, you're not stuck in the tunnels under Moscow anymore. You get to go outside and see what's left of the world. You play as Artyom, who was also the main character in the other Metro games. He and a bunch of other people who survived the war decide to leave the Metro and try to find a new place to live. They hop on a train and travel across the country, which is now a wasteland. It's a long and dangerous journey, and they meet all sorts of people along the way. The story is less about one big goal and more about the journey itself and the characters you meet. The game is a mix of shooting, sneaking around, and exploring. The shooting is tough, you don't have a lot of bullets, and your guns can break down. You have to scavenge for supplies and keep your weapons in good shape if you want to survive. Sneaking around is also important. Sometimes it's better to avoid a fight altogether, and you can sneak past enemies or take them down quietly. Exploring is a big part of the game too. There are lots of hidden places to discover, and you can find useful items and learn more about the world by exploring. Metro Exodus has a day and night cycle and a weather system that changes. This makes the game more challenging. Some enemies are more active at night and it can be harder to see in bad weather. You have to be careful and plan your moves based on the time of day and the weather. There's also a crafting system. You can use resources you find to make ammo, med kits, and other things that will help you survive. Managing your resources is really important. You don't want to run out of bullets or med kits when you're in a tough spot. The story in Metro Exodus is more personal than the stories in the other Metro games. It's about Artyom and his relationships with the people he's traveling with. It's about hope, survival, and trying to find a better future in a world that's been destroyed. It's a pretty emotional story, and you really get to know the characters. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy puts you in the boots of Star-Lord, the leader of the Guardians. It's an action-adventure game focusing on the dynamic between the Guardians, explosive combat encounters. This game isn't exactly like the movies, but it has the same kind of feel. Lots of action, funny moments, and really cool soundtracks. It's like a big space adventure with your favorite superhero team. The game is mostly about fighting, exploring, and making choices in conversations. The fighting is fast and exciting. Star-Lord has his blasters, which are like space guns, and he has other gadgets he can use. But the cool part is that you can also tell the other Guardians what to do. Each Guardian has their own special powers, and you have to work together as a team to beat the bad guys. It's like being a team leader, figuring out the best way to use everyone's abilities. You also get to explore a lot. You'll visit different planets and spaceships, and there are lots of things to find. You can look for hidden items, resources that you can use, and secret areas that you might have missed. The places you go are really detailed and interesting, so it's fun to just wander around and see what you can discover. The choices you make in the conversations are important. You'll often have to decide what Star-Lord says or does, and these choices can change how the story goes. They can also affect how the other Guardians feel about you. It's like you're really part of the team, and your decisions matter. The story is a big part of the game. It's a fun and exciting story with lots of humor. The Guardians are always joking around and teasing each other, and it makes the game really enjoyable. It's not just a silly story though. There are also some serious moments and some emotional parts. You really get to know the Guardians and care about what happens to them.
Alright, I'm pretty sure we've all caught our breath.
A Plague Tale Requiem. This game is like a storybook, but a dark and sometimes sad one. It's the second game in a series, and it continues the story of Amicia and Hugo. They live in medieval France, and there's a terrible plague going around. It's like the Black Death, and it's making everyone sick. Hugo, the little brother, has a special connection to the rats that are spreading the plague. It's a weird and scary connection, and Amicia is trying to find a way to help him. The game is mostly about sneaking around, solving puzzles, and sometimes fighting. Amicia isn't a super strong fighter. She's smart and resourceful. She uses a sling to throw rocks at enemies, and she has other tools she can use, but mostly she tries to avoid fighting altogether. She sneaks past guards and uses distractions to get by. There are also puzzles you have to solve. They often involve using the environment or Hugo's special connection to the rats. Like maybe you need to make the rats move a certain way to open a door or something. The story is really important in this game. It's about Amicia and Hugo and their relationship. They love each other very much, and they'll do anything to protect each other. The story is also about the terrible things that people do to each other during times of trouble. It can be pretty sad and upsetting, but it's also a powerful story about hope and survival. The game looks amazing. It's very detailed and realistic, and it makes the world feel very real. It's also pretty creepy. The rats are everywhere, and they're really scary. The game does a great job of making you feel like you're really there in the middle of all the danger. So, A Plague Tale Requiem is a game about a girl and her brother trying to survive a plague. It's a game about sneaking, puzzles, and a powerful story. It's dark and sometimes sad, but it's also a beautiful and moving game. If you like games with a good story, and you don't mind a little bit of scariness, you might like this one. Resident Evil 4.
You can't save anyone.
Okay, so in Resident Evil 4, you're Leon, a special agent. He has to rescue the president's daughter, Ashley, who's been kidnapped and taken to a weird village in Spain. Turns out the people there are all messed up, they're like zombies, but they're also kind of different and scarier. The game is about exploring the village and fighting these infected people. It's a mix of scary parts and action parts. You'll be going through creepy houses, farms, and even a big castle. You have to find clues and solve puzzles to figure out what's going on and how to get Ashley out. The fighting is tough. You don't have a lot of bullets, so you have to be smart about how you use them. You can find different weapons like pistols, shotguns, and rifles, and you can even make them better. You can also block attacks and sneak up on enemies, which is helpful. The story is pretty interesting. It's not just about rescuing Ashley, it's about a crazy cult and a strange parasite that's making people crazy. There are a lot of twists and turns, and you'll learn more about what's happening as you play. Ashley's also more helpful in this game. She's not just waiting around to be saved. So, Resident Evil 4 Remake is a game where you explore a scary village, fight creepy monsters, and try to rescue the president's daughter. It's a mix of scary and exciting, and it has a good story. If you like scary games or action games, you'll probably like this one. Mafia Definitive Edition. Mafia Definitive Edition is a remake of the original Mafia game. It tells the story of Tommy Angelo, a cab driver in the 1930s who gets unwillingly drawn into the world of organized crime. It's a classic gangster narrative full of betrayal, loyalty, and the seductive allure of power. The game is a third-person shooter with a focus on narrative and character development. You'll experience Tommy's rise through the ranks of the Salieri crime family, undertaking various missions from simple errands to elaborate heists. These missions often involve driving, shooting, and sometimes hand-to-hand combat. The driving mechanics are a key part of the game, and they're designed to feel authentic to the 1930s era. Cars are slower and handle differently than modern vehicles, adding a layer of challenge to chases and getaways. The combat is cover-based, and it's important to use your surroundings to your advantage. Ammunition can be scarce, so you'll need to be accurate and conserve your resources. The story is the heart of Mafia Definitive Edition. It's a well-written and engaging narrative that explores the complexities of the criminal underworld. Tommy's journey from an ordinary cab driver to a made man is compelling, and the characters he interacts with are memorable and well-developed. The game's atmosphere is also a strong point. The 1930s setting is beautifully realized with detailed environments and a soundtrack that perfectly captures the era. It really feels like you've stepped back in time to a world of gangsters, speakeasies, and classic cars. So, Mafia Definitive Edition is a great choice for anyone who enjoys a good gangster story. It's a well-crafted game with engaging gameplay, a compelling narrative, and a fantastic atmosphere. It's a classic tale of organized crime brought to life with this amazing remake.
Use my trust. Don Salieri. You won't ever need to worry about me. There's a guy above you. There's a guy above you. There's a guy below you. There's a guy below you.